And we're back with the quarterfinals round of United States Cup 10th edition 2026 with another match coming in the losers bracket, the first round of the quarterfinals losers bracket for these two teams. We've got Pennsylvania, seed 15 versus Illinois, seed 28. And what should be an interesting matchup. Neither of these teams seem to be skill capped at this sort of SR, I think, but you could start to see some troubles come in from the depth players on both of these rosters. Specifically, though, on Illinois, consisting of much lower ranked players, could start to struggle as this pool does start to reach 7 stars on a lot of maps. To get here, Pennsylvania in their first round defeated Wisconsin before suffering a loss to Virginia in the round of 16, dropping down from the winners bracket then in a close 3-5 affair, almost bringing a top team to the brink in that match. Meanwhile, Illinois losing in the first stage to Carolina, I believe, going up 2-0 against one of the top seeds before getting reverse swept in that scenario, before defeating Kanzuri in a 5-3 matchup in the round of 16. And yeah, could be pretty exciting matchup. I'm Miles, gonna be solo casting this one. Yeah, this matchup, let's see. So Pennsylvania boasts a much higher seed. They have much higher skill cap on their players. I think most notably having Bunny Like Money and Blue Chin Champa. Both of which are kind of in similar positions in different rank ranges, where Bunny Like Money, just an OWC snub. Like, if there weren't the 8 players who are on OWC every year, he would most certainly be on that team. Probably one of the 3 or 4 players closest to making it that aren't currently on the team. Blue Chin Champa, same spot, just about in 4WC. Got a really good score on the high star rating tryouts, but unfortunately for him, did not make that team. Meanwhile, side of Illinois, I think much less like top tournament experience, but still a lot of depth in what they can pick. So far in the matches, have picked in Nomad and Hard Rock and Hidden and the free mod pool. So they've picked everything except DT. So you know they have depth in their mod coverage with players like Hubba Wubba to take Hidden, with players like Refantagio on Hard Rock, and Tuco also being very well-rounded. So you've got, yeah, a lot of strong players on both of these rosters. Although I think this is going to be an uphill battle for Illinois in this matchup, because Pennsylvania, I think they do have a lot of maps in this pool where they can abuse that skill cap. I think most notably the DT pool. Illinois can ban out, I think, the most speedy maps in the pool, such as the DT4 or the DT3, or potentially the Nomad 5 as well, although that one isn't really speed, I would say, like just some short bursts in that map, but the AR is comfy, and the bursts are short enough to where you can kind of just mash your way through it. Or potentially the HR3. That is, we will call that map by its title. Astolfo, Bow to Catch This Dick. Maybe the most out-of-pocket map title we've ever had in this tournament, but I think it's hilarious. You have that, and then Diddy in the Hard Rock 2. Diddy conquers Dogadon. So, yeah, the jokes write themselves, guys. The jokes write themselves. But that'll be beside the point as we go into warm-ups here. I believe we already played Pennsylvania's warm-up because I saw the great Pennsylvania Strode as the background. Yeah, you know that image that Europeans love posting when they're talking about how America's like hell? Yeah, that's from the great state of Pennsylvania. That was my home state for a few years. Now I've moved one state west. We should be talking about these players, not myself. So the history between these two teams, these guys have played against one another a single time in USC 2023. In the first stage, Pennsylvania defeated Illinois definitively 5-1. A matchup that was never really that close. Going to be trying their luck once again. And for Pennsylvania, I think this is another year in their window as one of the high mid-tier teams in USC, trying to fight their way into potentially a top 6 position. They've been knocking on the door for quite a while, getting 9 through 12 last year, 7th and 8th in 2024, and 9 to 12 in 2023. And before that, they were not really in that tier of teams. So now this year, with players like Funny Like Money being so good, with the addition of Mommy on the side of Pennsylvania, one of the really strong reading players we have in 4-digit, in addition to Leggings, who I'll be calling Solar in this matchup, being a really strong gimmick player as well. They have the depth to really go far, and with the right bracket, with the right performances, I think they can finally get over the barrier this year, because I just remember last year, so they already lost to Virginia in this tournament, but last year they were really close to taking them out in round of 16, just a few unlucky misses, and that just kind of feels like the story for Pennsylvania, at least in my experience seeing them in USC. Back in 2023, they were so close to getting 7th to 8th, but just had the least lucky match of all time against New Jersey, team I was on. Unfortunately, losing that one in tiebreaker after having a 5-2 lead in that match. So yeah, Pennsylvania, I think they need to just commit. They need to lock in, because if these guys play to their potential, they know that they can get a really good placement in this tournament. And yeah, into the ban phase, Pennsylvania against Illinois. I'm not sure what they ban at all here. It sort of feels like this is the angle where you just ban the maps that you're weakest at, because I don't think there's a specific skill set that Illinois just kind of straight gaps them on. So yeah, banning a map like the Hidden 3 here makes a lot of sense. That map, very volatile. You have a lot of quick bursts into these difficult alt square patterns. It's just a really tough map to be consistent on. So I think getting rid of that makes a lot of sense. And Illinois, I would expect them to ban speed here. That is, I think, one skill set that Pennsylvania just, on all counts, just much stronger at. They're going to go for the DT4 ban, according to Captain Hubba. Not going to pronounce the title, because I don't speak French. I would say Raisin Dieter, and then every French person on Earth would get really angry. And yeah, Pennsylvania, continuing with the hidden bans, going to ban out the Hidden 2. That one is somewhat surprising to me, because they definitely have the players for a map like that. Maybe would just prefer not to play it in this one. And yeah, according to Hubba in the chat, they just banned Hubba and Lupa out of the match for Illinois. Unfortunate. Yeah, gonna expect to see a lot of Tuco and Refantagio and Lechuga in this matchup. Jellium probably will come in for maps, I think specifically stream maps, but haven't seen a lot of Jellium gameplay in the last year or so. Used to be really strong when I think he was more active in tournaments. So if he can bring that back and have a really good showing today, maybe they will have a chance to stick it to PA, but gonna have to see what the vibes are when we get into the maps. And Nomad 3 to be the second ban for Illinois. That sort of Nomad 2 style stream map, just like 190 BPM streams all the way through. Not wanting to play that. I surprised they would ban that one though, because the Fremod 3, I think by all accounts, is a harder map in my opinion. And you're gonna have to have a hard rock on that as well. Or unless you're crazy enough to learn that map on Flashlight. I think if I'm Illinois, I would rather ban the Fremont 3 because PA's got one of the best hard rock stream players in the country, and definitely the backing mod coverage for a map like that. And I guess I'll shout out the players that I haven't mentioned yet on both sides. So Pennsylvania, another new player, Remexia, 10K-ish in rank. Not a player I'm familiar with coming into the tournament, but making a team as competitive as PA means that they've got to have something in the tank. Looking forward to seeing them this match, as well as Sunwraith, a veteran for PA. Really good consistency aim player on hard rock, on hidden, across all skill sets, very reliable. Illinois, you've got Lupa as well. A player who's been around the tourney scene for a while, so definitely does have his maps in this match, but unfortunately, with the hiddens being banned out, might not see a lot of him, but taking potentially the bait, but also the information of 2 hidden bans, gonna go straight into the hidden 1. First pick, 60th Summer of Love. This is an alt map, first and foremost. Does have some awkward stacks, though, that were really tripping me up personally in practice on this. During the part of the song that you hear right now, they have these awkward double cuts that are just really awkward to aim. You have to put in a lot of practice to be consistent on them. And we're going to be seeing Hubba, Lupa, and Jellium for the side of Illinois. Already got their roster all set up. Meanwhile, Blue Chinchampa and Mommy for PA. Do expect both of those guys to perform well on a map like this. Curious to see who they run as their third. Could be Sunwraith, yeah, and there he is. Definitely more of a depth player on something that's as reading heavy as this, but should still be good for a decent score on this. Okay, here's a fun fact. Apparently, Illinois is the only state in USC history to have played in the losers quarterfinal round for every single iteration. So, since the founding of this tournament in like 2017, they have always been in losers QF. That's interesting. And if they lose this match, they will have finished in this same exact placement for the 6th year in a row. So hopefully, for their sakes, they can break that barrier and get the upset against PA. This would be a crazy upset. Yeah, here we go. GLHF's in the chat. We're coming out into the first map, 60th Summer of Love. AR 9.5, 158 BPM, about 3.5 minutes on this one. Early chain miss from Sunwraith. Gonna give Illinois an early lead on this one, but I think we're not gonna be really able to gauge the comfort levels until we get into this alt section here. The stacks come out, Lupa and Hubba and Jellium. It's a 3-way reset for Illinois instantly on that pattern. Mommy as well breaks, so it's just Blue Chinchampa holding through that. And by all means, those sequences are going to be the hardest parts of the map. You probably want to combo through the rest of the stuff on this, because everything in between those sections is going to be easier than them. Jellium finds a couple more misses, but the struggles from Sunwraith are going to leave the early lead in favor of Illinois, as Hubba and Lupa have recovered, both with very strong accuracy as well as Jellium. As we get into the chorus here, that break from Lupa going to start to throw it back to PA though. into the zigzag, and oh my god, that zigzag just completely consumed the two backing scores on PA. It's only Blue Chin Champa on their side as Jellium managed to hit that for Illinois. And Jellium will break on that stack as Blue Chin Champa just does Blue Chin Champa things and gonna be holding the FC through the second difficult section, and that is really crucial for PA, team that clearly did not want to play hidden in this matchup. Now poised to potentially take a break point on that one remaining hidden. And this is why this guy got second place or first place in that 4WC high tryout. One of the premier 4-digit players in the country. 1K combo just absolutely dominating the rest of the lobby on this one, with only Hubba, Wubba, and Jellium with any combo to speak of on Illinois. And they're just going to need to see a break from Blue Chin Champa, as Sunwraith has also brought up 570 combo. There is not much that Illinois can do, and all three of them are going to break, and that's going to do it for this one. So first break point on the board for PA. Now it's just all eyes on Blue Chin Champa. Can he hit the ending of this map? And quietly, Mommy has also brought up a 570 combo. So it's going to be into the ending here, reaching the point where all three players on PA are outscoring all three players on Illinois. But with that break from Mommy, it looks like Hubba's going to stay ahead of him for now. And there goes Blue Chin Champa, finally finding the miss, but not before getting his score all the way up to 850k. Just 200k off of the elusive 1v4. As Hubba chain misses that last pattern, and we've got 727k in favor of PA for a dominant break point on Illinois' first pick. And in the end, the highest score on Illinois is lower than the lowest score on Pennsylvania. And that is not a great look for your first pick. Now, Pennsylvania, breakpoint in tow, probably just want to get a dominant pick out of the way, consolidate that one real quick. You can follow the breadcrumbs of the ban phase and pick something like the Fremod 3 or even the DT3 as well. Could be good picks. Another player who is not present for Illinois this year is Buidon May, who in years past would be a really reliable DT player for Illinois. And not having him around is one less player who would be in for one of those tapping picks. And they are just going to start with the mechanics DT3. Deus Ex Machina. There is a bit of solace in this map being picked. It's that this is pretty much a farm map, and a very iconic one at that. Now, I don't know what Illinois' team sheet looks like, but in New Jersey, we have players who aren't necessarily speed players who have played this map and farmed it. So we've got a lot of depth on this. Don't want to shed any information. I hope no one on any of our opposing teams are listening to this stream. But this is a map that's so iconic that you might have a lot of practice on this before it was ever put in the pool, which probably would benefit a team that is not as geared towards speed as Illinois. The crazy scam is that this song doesn't actually play during Umineko no Naku Koroni, which is where this is actually like a fan song, I think, for this character from Umineko. Tuko, are you subtweeting me in the chat here? The practice is gonna make a difference. Listen, I have to talk about something. I have to talk about something here, Tuko. But yeah, here we go. Blue Chinchompa, Remexia, Bunny Like Money for PA, Refantasio, Tuco, and Jellium for Illinois. I'll say I'm somewhat surprised to see Remexia in here, although I did say at the start of the stream I don't know what his skill set is, but usually when there's like a low-ranked player on a team in USC, you expect them to be like a gimmick player because gimmick players are always low-ranked. But when you're a low-ranked DT player, like that's a rare breed because you don't have to be like a crazy DT player to get high ranked because DT is the meta. If you're able to FC Deus Ex Machina with DT, like you're good enough to be in the top 2,000 easily. But we'll see how that goes on his end. Couple early breaks. Remexia, Bunny Like Money, Tuco, and Jellium. So whole bottom row finding early breaks. Blue Chinchompa and Refantasio getting out of the start with their FCs intact. Into the first jump section. Tuco, Refantasio both go down. Jellium alone with a 300 combo for Illinois as PA looks completely poised through the first chorus. Pretty high accuracy on everybody. 98s on all three of them as we get into this long burst here. Catches out a lot of players. Jellium, Tuco, and Bunny all finding breaks there. So it's Blue Chinchompa and Remexia to carry the lead forward for PA. And Jellium and Refantasio really just need to see breaks from PA if they want to have any chance in this. They have to get through this jump section, and they both go down. So once again, into the ending, Remexia does break. Blue Chinchompa, once again, all eyes on him. See if he can bring home an FC this time. Just really good showings from Blue Chinchompa so far in these first two picks. Top scoring by a lot on both of them. Just continuing his explosive improvement in tournament play. Feels like every year you see more out of Blue Chinchompa on this team. Just a stellar carry level performance from him on another pick. And will be locking out the FC. And it's a 1.1 million teams gap for Pennsylvania on that one. 2.4 million total team score. Almost doubling the score of Illinois on that one. Now, I'm not really sure what Illinois picks later on in this match because the Hidden One Gambit did not really work out for them. I think they probably go to the free mod pool. Just try to abuse their mod coverage on a map like the free mod 2 or the free mod 4. Free mod 4 is probably the next most obvious pick for them. With the Hidden 2 ban and the strong mod coverage that Illinois has, I think that pick would make sense. But that isn't necessarily like an anti-pick into PA because PA does also have good mod coverage on a map like that. We'll see what Hubba's cooked for us because he does think a lot about strategy. So I know he had to come into this match with something in mind for Illinois here. But unfortunately for them, strategy can only take you so far if PA is playing the way that they're playing. If Bluchin Champa continues to put up FCs or near FCs on everything, it's going to be a tough look. But they are going to pick Diddy Kong versus Dagadon. That is a... I love that pick. Strike fear into the hearts of your enemies by picking CS 7.8. Very old map. This is just like the Russian roulette pick in this map pool, to be honest. Very short, minute 46 seconds. Some dumb wiggles, some dumb linear jumps. But also, it's pretty comfortable. And when I say dumb, I mean when you miss on it, you feel kind of dumb. But that's kind of how it is on CS 7.8. Because a lot harder than 6.5. This is real precision. Put some hair on your chest. And we will see Solar come in for Pennsylvania. Really strong precision specialist for the side of PA. He's a gimmick player, but also with a strong focus on the precision. Will be a really good roster addition for them on this. And then we'll be joined by Sunwraith and Bunny Like Money, so no Bluchin Champa in for this. Could be an anti-pick against him. Meanwhile, Tuco, Refantazio, and Lechuga for the side of Illinois. Try and get on the board here. This is just one of those picks where you just miss on bullshit. I'll keep it a buck with you here. Like, you're just gonna see misses. Like, oh, that hit sound. I didn't even know that hit sound was there. Yeah, there's a lot of breaks. I'm not gonna be able to commentate all of them. Let's just look at the score gap because people are gonna be missing on everything. It's like through the break here, Bunny Like Money holding the big combo. The only combo through the beginning, and does break too, so okay, that's now suddenly Illinois in the lead. Refantazio with a 50 combo, as well as Tuco and Lechuga. Gonna be enough for a pretty significant lead here as we get into these linear jumps. Lechuga goes down. That wiggle catches out Sunwraith, catches out Bunny. It's Solar all alone, and the Gambit looks like it's going to be paying off for Illinois. Leggings goes down, and there's really nothing they can do anymore. Illinois going to get on the board. The Diddy Gambit. It might be a freak off in this lobby, but enough to get a point on the board for Illinois. Yep, just the slow ending to go. Lechuga and Tuco and Refantazio all above 400k. Just overall a team victory for Illinois, which is what I think they need in this match going forward. They need to have picks like this where PA can't have that carry player, where the team performance of Illinois can shine through. And that was a good example of that on this pick. 322k victory for them. And they'll get on the board. 727. Look at Tuco's screen. 727. Bang. Great accuracy, actually, on a map like this. It's so easy to find chain misses, and that just kills your accuracy on a map that's this short, so good stuff from Tuco. They won the... Damn, dude, I have to try so hard not to make Diddy jokes. You see, this is what happens when I'm solo casting, because you get the intrusive thoughts of the commentator. Like, if I had a co-caster, I would be like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't make that joke that, like, you know, kind of is borderline between what's allowed in Twitch TOS or not. But whatever, this is Saturday night B stream. What else can you expect? And we are going straight into Astolfo about to catch this dick. So the intrusive voices are winning. We've got Hard Rock 3, the speed pick. We're going from Diddy into the Astolfo about to catch this dick. What the fuck, dude? Thought I was cooking too hard in this Hard Rock pool. It is completely overcooked. It is burned. We're making jokes that don't even pass Twitch TOS. So I need to shut up. At least it's the B stream. Can't happen on the A stream. But yeah, PA gonna continue their pretty good look on speed in this matchup. Illinois really did not look like they had a chance on that DT3. This one, I think, could be a little bit better for Illinois. Not being AR 10.3, not really having any fast jumps, just being more of those short bursts. Something that could be a little more playable for these players on Illinois. But side of PA just could be so strong on this. Ray Mexia comes back in. Bunny like money. Potential for a great score on this, as well as Blue Champa coming back in the lobby. Meanwhile, Lechuga, Refantasio, and Tuco, same roster from the HR2. Trying to continue that momentum. If they could take a break point on this, it would be something else. As here we go into Hard Rock 3, song title, Astolfo about to catch this dick, if you didn't hear it the first 3 times I said it. We go into the start. Couple breaks from Refantasio and Lechuga. Blue Champa goes down as well. Hard Rock, not Blue Champa's favorite mod. Still able to play it on a map like this, though. Only Tuco still holding the FC for Illinois, albeit with some AC drops. Comfort level from PA generally looks higher. Bunny will find a slider break, though. So that's gonna leave Illinois a window of opportunity here, as Ray Mexia is the only big combo remaining. And Tuco matching him step for step, as he has brought some of his accuracy back, but he needs to see more breaks from the side of PA as Refantasio does go down. But really just needs to see the break from Ray Mexia. 40k, they're still in this one halfway through. A little bit of a slowdown here can get your stamina back. Here we go into this ending section. This is the hardest part of the map coming up. And there goes Tuca, there goes Refantasio, there goes Lechuga. It's all 3 members on Illinois dropping, and PA gonna run into the ending of this HR3 not exactly as dominant as I think they would have wanted it to. I mean, the score will get run up by the end of it, but Illinois really did have a chance on this one for a while. And Ray Mexia this time. We'll see if he has what it takes to lock out the FC, and he gets through that last really difficult jump. And that is the FC coming out. Really strong score from the rookie. Exactly what you want to see on a new player coming into the team, coming into the stressful situations that come with every USC campaign. Always feels like getting those FCs really come at a premium. And that is a good look for PA. And that'll do it for fourth time's a charm. Astolfo about to catch his dick. Promise that's the last time I'll say it this match. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Maybe I'm just the most immature commentator ever, but like why would anyone make a song and decide to title it that? Like what the fuck was Shoebill thinking? Like these brain cells are too far away from mine. Now, Illinois, next pick. I expect them to run the HR2 momentum into the Fremont 4. Considering there isn't really any more precision left in the pool. I just think Fremont probably makes the most sense for them right now, and it is going to be Fremont. Not the Fremont 4, but the Fremont 2 Tsubaki. This pick does definitely make sense. One of the easier maps in the pool, one where I think Illinois will have that solid 3-man roster that we saw in the HR2 will be available on a map like this. And this map's also difficult to FC. Might not see a crazy FC from PA on this. Tuco, that's what I'm saying. Like we saw this has to be like the first 5-digit in USC history that's like coming in for the speed maps. Like, okay, I just heard my voice because we just got the Raiders from the A stream. Welcome A stream to the B stream. We're having a great old match here. 15th seed Pennsylvania up against 28th seed Illinois. PA already up a consolidated break point. We're on to Illinois' third pick here. PA found a lot of success on the speed, winning on the DT3, winning on Astolfo about to catch this dick, winning the break point on Hidden 1. Yes. I did say that was the last time I was gonna say Astolfo about to catch this dick, but I had to because we have all the new viewers coming in, so I have to update them. The A streamers missed out on my intrusive thoughts. That's what they missed out on. Because we saw HR2 into HR3, and I wanted to make jokes that are probably not allowed under Twitch TOS, so. Now we're here, Tsubaki. Hubba Wubba, Hidden, Lechuga, Hard Rock, Jellium, Nomad. Up against Mommy Nomad, or Mommy Hidden, sorry, Bunny Like Money, Hard Rock. Solar on the Nomad. This map has these slider jumps going to be comprising the main difficulty. Catching out Jellium first, that is not the player you want to see go down for Illinois. That no mod, you want them to be holding the combo harder. Lechuga will drop as well on the HR, trading out Solar on the Nomad. Mommy goes down on the hidden, so now it's Bunny like money. But there goes Hubba Wubba on the hidden, so it's Bunny alone with the Hard Rock FC getting through that difficult square jump pattern. That is pretty crazy. Now, I might have to stand corrected for what I just said about PA maybe not being able to find an FC on this, because Bunny is going off. Halfway through, HRFC is wildly impressive. Lechuga has brought back some combo for Illinois, as did Hubba and no longer Jellium. But none of that matters as long as Bunny holds. And Bunny finally breaking at the end. That's a really tragic place to miss. He already got through all the hardest parts of the map. So going to be missing out on a Hard Rock FC on Tsubaki. Hubba bringing a pretty good combo to the end. And all things considered, pretty good run from Lechuga on the Hard Rock as well. But ultimately, performance for PA just too strong. 396k win and a second break point under their belts. Now, PA, still not on match point. So Illinois still, if they can manage to take a break point back, will be right back in the match. And there is no more speed left in the pool. So Hard Rock 3, DT3 already gone. There is, like, I guess no mod 5, but that map doesn't really count as a speed map in my dictionary. Still one that I think PA is advantaged on, but if they want to have a textbook definition speed pick, it's not going to be there. So I think they might look elsewhere. I think they might look to a different free mod map, maybe the free mod 3, following the no mod 3 ban. They're going to go for the different free mod. They're going to go for free mod 1 Stigma. This is... I wasn't sure if this was going to be a good pick for PA or not, because it's one of the maps in the pool, or in the free mod pool in particular, where HR is just a lot harder. Like, it's in the category of free mod maps where the pooler just, like, looked at it and was like, I'm going to make sure the Hard Rock players have the worst day ever. And if you're Pennsylvania, you're probably putting Bunny Like Money on the Hard Rock. You don't want him having the worst day ever. But in the same vein, you expect him to probably do a lot better than Illinois, who will probably have to run Lechuga on the Hard Rock again. Which vocalist is Dust Cell again? Isn't this Ray Ciros? Like that chick who was like... Was she a VTuber? I have no clue. We're golfing in the chat. So that means the map is starting. Lechuga Hard Rock, Hubba Wubba Hidden, Tuco Nomad, Bunny Hard Rock, Blue Champa Hidden, Sunwraith Nomad for PA. Yeah, this map is definitely one of the harder ones in the pool. 220 BPM fast aim map. I love my former country, Pennsylvania, that I never played for. Like, can you believe me? I lived in Pennsylvania for years, but I had my New Jersey flag hanging in my room so I could convince myself that I was still in my glorious, beautiful home state of New Jersey. And now I'm in Ohio, and I feel patriotic about the great state of Pennsylvania. Like, this state was my home. Is Ohio ever going to be my home? That's not the topic of question right now, because it is 50k of lead for PA. Blue Champa does go down. Bunny does go down. Had been holding the HRFC. Sunwraith, just 250 combo. Not really much combo on Illinois to speak of, so should be a consistent lead for them. Firm Cheese moved back to NY from NJ. Well, at least you don't live in Connecticut. Yeah, this map is a little bit of a clown fiesta, to be honest. No one really able to hold much of a combo at all. Just a few hundred here and there from each player. But just overall, a little bit of a higher baseline for Pennsylvania. Those freaking Wawa eaters eating up this map, too. Now just into the end of this map. PA is cruising through the least congested part of I-95. Part between Philly and Baltimore, where the traffic sucks the least on a certain day. I don't know. Probably not true. Honestly, I-95 just like sucks. Like all of I-95 sucks. There is no part of I-95 that isn't congested, so that is a horrible example. But they are cruising. They're cruising 15 miles above the speed limit on the Jersey Turnpike as they commit acts of terror against my New Jersey drivers. But that's enough to get a point on the board. 5 points out of 6, now on match point. And Illinois backs up against the wall. What do you have? Your New Jersey drivers? You guys are the ones terrorizing us? Well, I don't think that's correct. I just don't think that's correct. I think you're full of it, Astravia. But yeah, Illinois have gotta find that killer instinct. Remember, Michael Jordan played in your state. You can't go out like this. You need another pick on the board. You had Michael Jordan. You had Patrick Kane, the Chicago Blackhawks. It's time to activate the killer instinct to get another point on the board. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, if you're trying to go to the Jersey Shore on a summer day and you see a Pennsylvania plate sitting in the left lane going under the speed limit, you should probably pass them on the right and flip them off. Yeah, looks like we'll need an abort because I think Lechuga disconnect at the end of the last map. Disconnected, so gonna need to just panic out of that one, get the abort. It is the guaranteed point for PA. We saw that one through to the end, but just a late disconnect. Do you have a dream, says Hubba. I do have a dream, and my dream is Michael Jordan and Patrick Kane and who's that football player? Dick Butkus. I think Dick Butkus is on the Bears. All of the Chicago sports legends are cheering you on right now. You need to win this map, and yes, here it is. I think that's the free mod 4 pick. Oh, just voice of an angel. Yeah, I do think this is the pick I was looking at for Illinois the whole match. I think this is a good look for them. They've got the mod coverage for sure. Probably Hubba taking the hidden. And Tuco taking the hard rock. Jellium on the no mod again. Or maybe the easy. Or perhaps Refantasio might come in to take the hard rock or Lechuga. And there's Refantasio. And there is Solar. Solar either... Actually, definitely not taking the hard rock because Bunny Like Money is also in the lobby. So could see an easy coming out from Solar. And maybe a hidden tank for Sunwraith. Or Solar on the hidden Sunwraith on hidden hard rock overmod. A lot of mod coverage on PA, as I've mentioned. We actually just got, like, effective powered in the chat there. What is that chat message? You guys remember that text message that it was on iPhone specifically, where if you sent like a specific text that had like effective power and then like some Arabic letters, it would just like crash your phone? That's what I feel like Solar just sent in the chat. I love driving in New Jersey and treating all of my fellow New Jerseyan human drivers normally, and then tailgating people from different states. Today I learned that New Jersey actually exists. Okay, well, you are very good friends with Yoshi Lover, who is a patriot, an absolute New Jerseyan patriot who should let you know that the state exists. And you're friends with Suicune3, who was just there in the beautiful Jersey shoreline. Okay, into the maps. Leggings, no mud. Buddy Like Money, Hard Rock. Sunwraith, Hidden. Refantasio, Hard Rock. Hubba, Hidden. Jellium, no mud. Early misses for Hubba. This map, I think, is pretty easy in the first half. There's this one pattern after the second break that is just absolutely nasty, this one flow pattern. And that's where I'm probably expecting to see the most breaks. But Solar does go down as well, so it's a traded miss. But Refantasio and Jellium to find breaks as well. And now we're in dire straits for Illinois. And I said Sunwraith, tank the Hidden, has been doing a very good job so far through the first third. FCing all the way through that. So it is Sunwraith and Bunny Like Money. And there goes Leggings and Sunwraith. So, but Hubba trades it. So it's just Refantasio with any combo, and it's not even enough to match any of the big combos on PA. But Sunwraith did go down. So it's just Bunny Like Money. Okay, here comes the egg. Anybody like eggs? Let's see if the egg manages to crack this combo from Bunny Like Money. Got the lobby in his hands right now. 100k lead for PA. Just has to get through this pattern. Oh, and he does it. Okay. And everybody else goes down.
Yeah.
That is style points for Bunny Like Money to probably end this match. No combo on Illinois, and PA with their star. Just too good.
Yeah.
And into the ending, all eyes just on Bunny. We're going to see if he can finish this one out with the FC. And we're going to be doing a pretty quick switch off at the end of this, so I'm going to just outro now. We've got Illinois on the back foot. Pennsylvania going to be finishing this one up with the win. 6-1. As Illinois will finish 17th through 24th for the 6th year in a row. And Pennsylvania will continue their campaign into losers quarterfinals round 2. Will go up against the winner of Nevada and Washington, which will happen later. And Bunny Like Money did break on the slider section at the end, but 900k score from him. Very good. 967k lead for PA to finish it off. S rank for Bunny. And it's a good performance from PA this match. Got through this one without giving up too much information to their future opponents. Illinois did manage to get their first pick on the board. Second pick, sorry. Diddy Kong versus Dogadon going very well for them. But unfortunately, will be finishing in that same spot again. And thank you for playing as always. I mean, 28th seed winning a match will mean that they will outperform their seed. So in terms of numbers, it was a good and fine performance for Illinois. We wish to see them back next year. And for PA, best of luck to them in the next match. And thank you all for watching this match. And we're about to do a handoff into another match starting very shortly. We've got Tennessee versus Arizona. Another match of pretty close seeds. And I'm going to be joined by Mr. This One Guy as we start up that match shortly. You're going to be switching off streamers. Thank you to James for streaming this one. And let's move on to the next match in just a minute. So sit tight. We'll be right back.